Hi everyone, I'm back. Well, it's been a long stint between videos, between the holiday season and backup of orders after the holidays, and of course myself and some of my staff caught that terrible flu. So put me down for 10 days. Anyway, today's video is going to be about makeup brushes, the eye colors I'm wearing, and the blush shade. And I'm also wearing Coral Sand, but I've demonstrated that. I love this shade. Vintage is on my cheek. I have Illusion in the crease. I have In the Buff on the brow, and I have Apricot on the lid. I will demo them on my hand so you can see the colors and how they shift, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Plus, the brushes will be shown to you in terms of dimension on the face, so you can compare how large they are, the type of coverage each one gives, because on the website it doesn't do them justice. You just see these brushes, but there's no comparison to know how big they are or what a nice brush they are. So I'm going to demo that. Plus, I will show you the vintage shade and also show it to you in bulk so you can see how beautiful it is. Okay, well, let's get started and show you the size in comparison to my face so that you know how they will relate. Okay, first off, we have the Jumbo Buffer. As you can see, it's a large-headed brush. It is similar to a Buki, but it has a long handle. These chubby handles are great. You can see it in relationship to the size of my face. It applies mineral foundation with basically what we consider a sheer to medium application. Then we have the flat top buffer, which is I love. This is medium to heavy coverage, and again you can see in comparison to my face the size and how it'll spread, and it's just great. You know, I love the Jumbo Buffer, or I should say the flat top buffer. And then for a very sheer application of mineral veils, bronzer, or mineral foundation, we have what is called a large rounded face brush. And as you can see, it's very soft and open, and it just puts on a nice application. You see how much larger it is in relation. And then we have another one, which is the small rounded, and here's what they look like in comparison. You can see that this is considerably larger, and this is just about right for the size of the cheek. So this is what we call a nice blush brush. Then for those who enjoy contouring their faces, we have a pointed face brush, and as you can see the little point right there. It also has a thinner line of bristles so that you can get more depth in terms of contouring the cheek line. Plus it also will apply blush, very sheer and nice, but if you like that little bit of contour, you can just go along the cheekbone, below the cheekbone highlight, or you can even put highlighter like Spritz and Sparkle. Then, for those of you that watch my tutorials, my all-time favorite is my Chubby Blender. You can see it is a mass of thick bristles with a slight tapered point to it. I use it all the time under my eye. I use it to erase mistakes, makeup mistakes, maybe fallout from eyeshadow, a little too much blush here. It just, I can get in around the redness, like for rosacea, things like that. This is what I call my basically my age eraser, or mistake eraser, whatever you want. It's just, I love this brush. Then we have, for an all-over eyeshadow brush, a large all-over shader. You can see this is the size. It has a very narrow tip base to it. Here it is in relationship to my eye. I have a very small eye, so you can see. So it would lay down some considerable coverage, okay? For those that like a thicker brush, this can double as a full eyeshadow brush, or because of the tapered edge, you can use it in the crease for a little heavier application. Again, this is probably a better brush for those women with large eyes. For someone like me who has small eyes, I wouldn't recommend this as a crease brush because you could tend to get too much product in the crease, and then you have quite the mess you have to go behind and erase. What I do recommend for small eye gals, which also double as a liner, is our Slant Line brush. Basically, you can see it in relationship. Again, I'll hold it up. Very narrow tips, but you could go right directly in the crease, so it puts the color right where you want it. I love this brush. This is what I use for putting eye color in the crease. Plus, it's great for right along the lash line. You can see it in relationship to the thickness into my lashes. Great brush. That's what I use. We also have a brush that is considered our this is just the Smudger. It's a thicker brush. You can see the tip is thick. If you hold it like that, you can see it's got a much broader head on it. You can line with it if you like a thicker line. You can also use it in the crease. You can use it for creating a smoky look by buffing out. All the texture on all the brushes are very silky smooth. But again, in relationship to my eye, you can see how it appears, okay? And then we have the, basically this is a line and smudge brush, so a lot finer tip. You can see it there. Very narrow point. Great, again, against my lashes. You can see how refined it is against the eye. Can you see that? And then you can use it to go down here. Here it is in relationship to my lower eye. Very refined tip. You can use this wet to apply the mineral makeup as an eyeliner, or again, you can smudge out your liner for a little smoky look. So very versatile brushes. And then of course we have our standard Buki. This is the dirty brush today, so this is the one I'll be demoing to show you how to get your brushes clean without getting water down in the ferrule and possibly loosening your glue and having your brushes fall apart. These brushes should last you forever. Boy, those are tongue twisters. If they're properly cared for, and you should wash your brushes at least once a week. So anyway, let's get to the cleansing part. Now we're going to wash our brush, and basically just get it wet. And see how I hold it downward? Don't ever fountain your brush or let the water come up like this. Okay, so you hold it down, you have a little bit of shampoo in your hand, whether it be baby shampoo or just your regular shampoo. And after you get the bristles pretty wet, then you just kind of swirl the brush in the palm of your hand in the suds, creating a mucky mess. And you just swirl in your hand. You do this for all your brushes, whether it's the eyeshadows, the full face brushes, anything. Use warm to hot water. Okay, and then you can just kind of squeeze it, and then just start rinsing, keeping it angled down. You can flush the water through it by just constantly rinsing and just taking your hands and squeezing. Don't be tempted to fountain it up and let the water run down. You want to definitely hold the brush down at all times. Keep squeezing with your hand. And then if you need to, you can repeat until the water runs clear, but usually the first shampooing gets it. And then when you're all done, you just take a towel and you just squeeze the bristles dry. Just really squeeze the excess water out. And then if you really want to get the excess, I mean, a good towel is absorbent, it'll get it. But you can do additional squeezing with a paper towel to really get it dried up. And then you just basically let it lay like that. That's all you need to do. And do that with all your brushes. They don't need to remain inverted, or you can just lay them flat. I don't recommend even a Buki brush standing it up because of anything that could be deep in the bristles. Lay it flat and let the water, evaporate out of the brushes. That's it. That's how you take care of your brush. Let's move on to eyeshadow. These are the shades that I'm using on my eyes. And on the left, the dark shade is Illusion, and the center is In the Buff, and the right is Apricot. As you can see, the bottom shades are done in foiling method, so they are applied damp or wet, or you can apply them dry and then spray over the top of them, depending on your preference. You can use a moistened brush, it doesn't matter. The top version, they are in the dry format, and you can see that it's a lot more sheer. There's always a little bit of sparkle within the buff, but depending on your level of intensity, these are great for evening. As you can see, you can get a beautiful intense look for an evening wear, and then during the day you can blend them out to be much more sheer. As you can see, Apricot over there, it blends out very sheer, very little color, just enough opacity with a nice amount of shimmer, just enough sparkle for In the Buff or on the brow bone, and for in the crease, or even a full lid if you like. The dry version of Illusion is ideal. But see the shifting of the Illusion to the green, teal, gold? I just love that color. Look, it just shifts on your lid all day long like that. So that is a beautiful shade. I love it. Then on my inside of my forearm is Vintage, the blush I had on. I went up and down my forearm so you could see it. I put areas of it where it's very subdued and dried, like right here. And then I go out to here where I've given it a little pop with some moisture. So it just depends on your level that you wish to have. But to show you the shade in bulk, because the little jar on the website doesn't do it justice, here it is in a nice big jar. Isn't that beautiful? I love this shade. It's just and I call it vintage because it just reminds me of a very soft rose tone with a little bit of brown undertone. It's beautiful as a face color. It helps reduce sallow skin tone, and you just can't go wrong with this shade. Well, I hope you enjoyed all the demonstrations of the brushes and how to clean your brush and the eyeshadows and the blushes, and I'm looking forward to the new models that'll be coming on to give you some tutorials with different looks, something that I'm not able to do for you. So anyway, until I see you next time, be well, take care, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.